Hi, we're back. Claire and I go over what we've been doing all summer long, lots to catch up on, and the fun topics that we have in store for season two. So, as we say, let's jump in.
Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Angela.
And I'm Claire, your companions on the journey to a successful and vibrant life.
We are here to debunk those media health myths and break through mental blocks that we all face.
Let's fuel your life with nourishing conversations to a healthier you.
At least you can hear me.
All right. This is actually clip number 2 of little connection errors, but we're back and we're ready for season 2 to kick it off.
Yes. So here we are. It's been 2 months to date, really, since we recorded last. We closed our season 1 out, which was successful on all of our topics, and we were able to take time this summer to just be in ourselves and do some traveling and adjust to certain life things, and then along with just start thinking about what season 2 is going to be and how can we come in refreshed. And I know for me, I was struggling towards the end of different topics, so it felt good to just take a step back and then live life a little, and through that come up with topics that were inspiring. I don't know if that's what you had, Claire.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about that this morning too, because I had been brainstorming some of the topics, and then this morning I was just like, oh my gosh, I have so much more that I want to talk about. There's so much that I've learned that I want to share with everyone. There's so many topics that I'm just so passionate about that I'm really, really excited to help people just have different breakthroughs in their life.
I know, so fun. Well, Claire, I know when we last recorded, you were getting ready to go on your Greece trip. So how has your summer been?
Yeah, it's been so amazing. So right after we recorded, I think a week or maybe 2 weeks later, I went on my trip to Europe. I did 4 days solo travel in Portugal, which was absolutely amazing, insane. I met so many amazing people that I'm going to be friends with for the rest of my life. I know it. I already got an offer from this family that I met. Actually, it was a couple, and they were just so amazing. They took me under their wing, taught me a bunch of Portuguese words. Their house was about 2.2 miles from where I was staying, actually. And they kept on surprising me throughout the trip. They would just show up wherever I am. They ended up buying me an early birthday lunch on my last day before my flight. And they were just so welcoming. They gave me a tour of their amazing home, and they were like, all right, so this is where you're going to stay when you come back next year. And I was just like, perfect. All right, this is going to be my annual spot. I really just fell in love with the island that I was at, and oh my gosh, every second of it just felt magical. And so that was amazing. Then went to Greece, and my best friend Victoria met me there, and we went to my other best friend Teresa's wedding, which was stunning, beautiful on the island of Crete. And it was such a crazy trip in Greece because we were in every single location for less than 24 hours. So we were actually in Santorini for only 8 hours, which was crazy. But the trip was just phenomenal. We saw everything we wanted to see. Unfortunately, we only got 35 minutes in Athens, which was really sad and kind of crazy.
Was that from airport, or why so short?
Yeah, I had a layover there, but Victoria really wanted to see the town. I did too, but we had very limited time. And
yeah, the airport's a little further from right in the heart of Athens.
Yeah, so we had to take the train an hour each way. And so we were only actually in the city for 35 minutes.
You know what, though? What a memory. I mean, to me, that's it isn't ideal, but at least you got a memory out of the deal.
Exactly. We went to this really, really amazing rooftop bar and overlooked the town. It was amazing. I definitely need to go back, though.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Every time you posted, I was like living through you. I was like,
Yeah.
where is she next? How is she doing? Is she safe? Because you're a solo trip on the first end. Which,
Oh,
my
no.
first solo trip was 3 years ago to San Diego. So
Okay.
the fact that you like, that's just to give it perspective of my big solo trip. But I was like, finally, I'm going to do this. And here's Claire gallivanting in Portugal.
Oh, I loved it.
So
And
I'm like, if Claire can do it, I can do this.
oh,
The
100%.
international piece. Yeah.
100%. I highly recommend Portugal because it was so safe there. Everyone was like, "Oh, you're fine walking at night." They're like, "Just don't walk
I
down any like
heard that.
alleyways." But
Right.
Greece,
Yeah.
on the other hand, glad that wasn't solo because that
Okay.
was crazy.
Different.
We almost got sex trafficked on the train, so that was really scary. That
Wow.
was in Athens, and so yeah, I was really glad that I wasn't solo on that trip, and it's gonna be a while
Oh
before
my
I go
God.
back there.
Wow. That is such a different experience. And well, we didn't take the train in Athens. We had an Uber from the airport. So, that was a different experience. But I felt pretty safe walking around the main part there. I was with James, but it just felt so whimsical and it was just beautiful. So, but anyways, I'm just glad you're safe and you had a great time. And obviously the looks of your Instagram photos, I'm sure it didn't do it justice with the views that you had posted and the colors and
Yeah, it was truly, truly amazing. But yeah, I mean, besides that, and what have you been up to? I know you started your new job right before we stopped season 1.
yes.
So update us on all of that, family life, personal life, everything.
Yeah, I'm 60 days in on the new job, and it's been really a positive transition. I mean, there's been parts that have been overwhelming as I've said goodbye to clients that I've done for a long time and have built relationships with. But yet, it's something I was thinking about the other day you have to kind of just jump in to something new. Like when that is in front of you and a door is opening, it's like jumping in and being okay that it's going to look different. But that just has been a personal growth thing for me to trust the process fully and not to not to baby step out of one thing that I've felt comfortable in for so long, and just to dive in has been that's where reward comes. There's always an opportunity to learn, but it allows you to be 100% into one space and really allow the flourishing to happen. So for me, that's been like I would say my summer has been filled with personal growth, because I did that traveling, prior to start Soul Sports. So I've just been in the workforce of Soul. And then recently, 2-3 weeks ago, I was able to do a segment for Fox 10, a morning show. So I got to be on there talking about electrolytes and hydration. And we had just done, towards the end of season 1, we had a couple episodes back to back on that very topic. So it was a whirlwind. It was probably a 5-minute segment. If you want to watch it, jump on my Instagram. You'll see some clips here and there on it. But it was that was a fun experience. And I thought later, I'm like, this podcast probably helped me feel comfortable, being in front of the camera, just like different things. So that was good.
So I'm hoping that you gave us a shout out, right? On the news.
I would. It was. I know. And then I talked about our run club that meets outside the store. I didn't even say riot. I just did a run club. This is like I thought you were gonna plug riot. I was like, you know what? It was a lot. I mean, it was like, and you're kind of following the lead of the gal who's, leading the segment. but yeah, so, and then on the Logan front, he was gone all summer visiting different grandparents, and ended up when he was up in Minneapolis, he got a hole in one,
Oh
like
my
golfing hole in
gosh.
one.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
so
so
cool.
I feel like the kid's probably golfed, I don't know, 15 times in his life. I mean, he's not like a big golfer. Like it just, he was dreading golfing leading into summer because he knew that these grandparents were going to be taking him. And I just said, just have fun. And then he ended up getting a hole in one. So
Wow, I wonder,
yeah,
did that change his outlook on the sport?
well, I asked him that. I said, "Are you going to become a golfer now?" He's like, "Well, I'm more open to it." I'd be
Oh,
like, "Well, I was joking with my brother, and it was like, oh, well, if that was us, we'd be like, well, mastered the game, check." Like a totally different perspective. I mean, I've golfed since I was 7, so I've had many rounds of golf and no hole in ones. So I am,
wow.
it is a really neat experience to have. But yeah, I mean, James is currently out of town on work, but we've just plugging away at life and um, doing different things. He's been more active on the Instagram page for producing our riot videos, so that's always fun to see activity. His side gig flourish. But
Yeah.
yeah. So how's work for you, Claire? I know you were training people last we chatted on here and working a ton of hours, so you were seeing a light to the end of your tunnel.
Yes. Yeah.
Of
Everything's
work.
going so much better now. And I'm so happy that all of my coaches are up and running. I think I have 4 coaches now. Yes, 4 coaches and then 2 specialty coaches. So everything's going really well. It was great to go on vacation and come back and see that there is no fires. The systems ran the way they were supposed to run, and
You trained them.
yeah,
That's
I
like
felt
pat on your back
yeah,
for
it
getting
felt
them up and yeah.
exactly. So it felt really good to come back to that. And it just made me realize, okay, all of that hard work is going to pay off, and it is paying off. And I'm starting to be able to move more into a work-life balance where I can do things outside of work that can inspire me for work. So, and I hate calling it work because it really doesn't feel like work. And I just adore all of my patients that I'm working with right now. So many amazing people, and I'm really excited because for anyone who doesn't know or hasn't listened to season 1, so I work in a preventative cardiology clinic and also primary care where we help people reverse their chronic conditions by lifestyle change and try to get them off their prescriptions. And so all of our patients work with a health coach. So I run the health coaching department there. And I'm really excited because we are moving fully into longevity. So that is the primary focus of the practice. So whether you're working with the cardiologist or the internist for primary care, our aim is longevity regardless. So I'm just really excited to make that shift because I feel like that's always what we were doing. We just weren't really marketing for that. And so I just feel like marketing for that is going to bring in all of the right people who really strive for more in life. And those are the people that I love working with, the people that are always wanting to make changes and always looking to make themselves better. So I'm just really excited to make that shift. And it's going to help me too, of just what I want and like moving forward in life, just the things that will help me reach my goals. So I'm really excited about that. And it's allowed me also with the practice, everything being more like running on its own, it's allowed me to really prioritize myself. And I feel like that's something that was kind of lacking throughout it. I always knew that's what I needed to do, but it just wasn't something that I was really doing. Or I hate using the excuse that I didn't have time for it, but I definitely didn't have the time that I would want for it.
Right.
And so I have really enjoyed being in this space of setting aside alone time and using that time to think what I want in life. And it's just been really nice.
I love that, Claire. I mean, I think the longevity really struck me because it's kind of what we've preached on here in our past, season 1 episodes is just it's a lifestyle. So
Mhm.
lifestyle change equals longevity because it creates that ability to keep going. It's not a short-term thing. Um, and so the fact that you get to do what you do all the time and helping people, on the daily, and then we get to come in here and tackle those longevity opportunities is just full circle. And I feel like that too in my job, even though I'm helping people with shoes, I spoke with someone who hasn't run in a long time, and so she's pretty much starting from zero. She mentioned she's put on weight, and she uh, is signed up for the Gilbert Half. Well, it's the Gilbert Half Marathon, but you can also do a 10K or a 5K, and she wants to do the 10K. But as I spoke with her, it was just encouraging her that we're going to start somewhere.
Mhm.
And, come on the Wednesday night, because we do riot on Wednesday nights outside the stores, she could just hang with me and we can just do that, little bit of run and a walk, and we can find the light pole, the stop sign, whatever, marker to get to. And that's about life, right? That's like a perfect analogy of how we operate in life is we find those small milestones.
Oh, well, I completely agree. I love what you said about like what you get to do. You get to meet people, and it seems like you kind of get to coach people as well.
Mm-hmm.
With what you're doing,
Yeah.
you get to help people with, oh, okay, these are your goals, and you get to you work in a place where it's a lot of runners, and you run the run club out of that shoe store. So I'm sure you get a ton more people to join based on that. So that's really cool that you get to
Yeah.
meet those people, and it just is a great opportunity. You're like, test those out
Mm-hmm.
tonight the
Yeah.
club.
Right. Put on those shoes. But anyways, that's been I mean, I know we chatted your work and your updates for the last season since the last season, and we've chatted mine, but I'm excited to really dive into what our audience can look forward to in season 2. So, Claire, if you want to tackle some of the episodes that you have been inspired to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited. Our next episode actually is going to be on building and maintaining healthy habits. So just kind of swapping out some habits, acknowledging them, and why that's important because it is those day-to-day things that lead to the results that you want. So I'm excited to tackle that. I want to talk about being healthy at work because I did work in a environment in the past that made it very difficult to maintain my goals. So I want to talk about that, just different tips and tricks for how you can stay healthy in that environment when you have like donuts on Fridays, for example, and just different things that could be barriers. Or just even
Mhm.
like prepping lunches and stuff like that. Just different tips and tricks for during the workday and getting more movement. And also, I want to talk about the power of the mind because I've been doing a ton of research on this. My mom is actually going through a lot of this with her chronic migraines. And so,
Mm.
this has been huge for her with using your mind to tackle these chronic conditions. And I think that's really, really powerful. So, I want to talk about just what you can do with the power of your mind. There's so much research scientific data that backs the power that your mind has on your physical body. So I think it would be cool
Mhm.
to talk about that. And then also, I'm excited to have a couple special guests. The one that is already confirmed is one of
Mhm.
my great girlfriends, Michelle. She is a love and attraction coach, and she actually works with Mastermind. If anyone knows what that is, that it works with like Tony Robbins,
Oh,
Nate
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Graziosi, all of those people. Like she's getting to really be in that space. So I don't know what direction she's going to go with it. I just know that she has a lot of information to share. So whatever it is, I'm excited about it. What about you, Ange?
Well, since I'm, diving into this running world, I'm going to have an episode on running your first 5K. I'm just going to go over the basic, how to start. And then also there's 2 different training tactics that are out there. So you can do by distance or you can do by minutes. And so there are, 2 different ways to approach the greater goal, and that's to complete a 5K. If anyone is not familiar what the 5K is equivalent to, it is a 3.1 mile run. So that's on my list. And then I'm hoping to nail down a guest speaker who I know through Soul Sports, and he's a rep for Hoka. So just chatting about the importance of shoes and why we need to love on our feet so we can perform in different environments. And that can be walking and that can be strength training. Each line has a plethora of shoes that will take you from any form. So he's awesome. He has a lot of cool things that and experiences himself. So I think he'd be a good match for us on here. And then I have one about rest days. I think it is important to take a rest day, to be intentional, to allow the body to recover, especially when we have even just a busy week, and allowing ourselves to reset. And what that looks like, it's not necessarily not to be active, but to not move in the intensity that we do all week long when we're in grinding for our work week. So that's one. And last but not least on my particular top of list is it's titled, I just ate a cup of sugar. A quarter cup of sugar. So I'm going to go over different foods that we're absolutely familiar with eating, we enjoy, we think are healthy, but we're actually eating a quarter cup of sugar, and how we can make those transitions to still get in our treats and the things we enjoy, but not consuming the, not so good sugars that, of course, in season 1, we do have an episode that Claire dove into on sugars. So kind of a spin-off of that, but I just think there's just a lot in store this next season, which will take us through the holidays pretty much. So that's a snippet of what we have to come.
Yeah,
and I'm energized.
Me too. I'm so excited. We have some good topics coming up. I'm curious too, to our listeners, if you have any topics that you would love us to cover, follow us on Instagram and message us and let us know what you want to hear.
Yes, it is valuable to us because we really are here for you. And we are inspired by you guys. I actually, when I was up in Scottsdale at that run club, a gentleman came up to me and he's like, "Have you done more episodes?" And I was like, "We're about to start." So
yay!
Get ready. I'm like, "Oh, I love it." We do, for me, I do it for I love this. And so the goal is you hope to reach people and they enjoy it and they have fun listening. But I'm just inspired with my time with you, Claire. So that's a win, but to actually get a live person's feedback is always beautiful.
100%. I love hearing that people are listening or that they gain anything from our podcast. Let us know what you think is the most valuable things that you're getting from this, and what do you want to gain from this, so that we can kind of cater this to you, because I agree. And it's fun to sit on here and bounce ideas off each other. I always learn something new from you, and it's really fun to have 2 different perspectives here. So I love that we're doing it together.
Yes. Well, episode 1 of season 2 is complete. So we are pumped for what's to come. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Claire, get away.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, and have an amazing Monday.